All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. And in this video, we're going to be in the 154-pound division where Terence Crawford team has some things to say about Errol Spence Jr. and his upcoming fight with Sebastian Fundora. And it sounds a little bit salty, but still going to cover it because, man, I hope they're wrong. I still want Errol to fight Ryan Garcia, but let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 154-pound division where we got Bernie the Boxer. We got a Bernie the Boxer appearance. Bernie the Boxer, if you're not familiar with who Bernie the Boxer is a member of Terence Crawford's team. As a very knowledgeable guy in the sport of boxing, he really is. Definitely super duper pro Terence Crawford. And pretty much the only time I hear him say things that I disagree with is when it relates to Terence Crawford. But even then, it's not often. It's enough, but it's not often. And he spoke out about this fight coming up that is rumored to be coming up between Errol Spence Jr. and Sebastian Fundora, the one where I am hoping that Errol Spence Jr. shocks the world and comes back looking like, like just a fresh new penny, doing his thing, winning the WBC super welterweight championship of the world against Sebastian Fundora, the Giant. But real quick, before I get into it, let me welcome you guys back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. If you're a long-time subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you. And thank you to everybody that supports in the super thanks of videos like this. It's a great way to sponsor the channel and all content creators. But let's go through this because, look, man, I'm looking forward to this fight, okay? I'm looking forward to seeing Errol Spence Jr. get back in the ring. As you know, he's not going to be fighting at 147 pounds anymore. He lost to Terence Crawford, and he lost to Terence Crawford in very ugly fashion. And so, of course, like what we do with most people in boxing, people want to throw him in a trash can. Number one, first guy that Bernie the Boxer's throwing him in a trash can by saying he's going to get knocked out and beat up by Sebastian Fundora. That to me is something that it's something that worries me. I can't lie. And I'm a big Errol Spence Jr. fan. Definitely support him. Definitely want him to do well. He's somebody that does not like taking tune-up fights. And I have been an advocate for years of Errol Spence Jr. taking tune-up fights. Please take a tune-up fight. Please take an easy fight. Get your, so you can work on some stuff, see you fight more often. But, Errol Spence Jr. doesn't want to do that. So he's going to go off of this fight with Terence Crawford out of the fire and back into the frying pan. You got the saying, man, you're out of the fire, you're out of the frying pan and into the fire. Like you were in something hot already and got something in something hotter. Well, he jumped out of the frying pan, which is everybody he fights. And then into the fire with Terence Crawford, and he's back into the frying pan with Sebastian Fundora. I can understand why people would say, I don't like this fight for him. I don't think that that's a good fight for him. Number one, I mean, because he had that difficulty with Terence Crawford, in your mind's eye, you just remember seeing him getting beat up and losing. So and then you see Sebastian Fundora, and Sebastian Fundora is just like he's just like a walking war. Like every fight, like he is no joke, Sebastian Fundora, not necessarily because he's the most talented person in the world, but just because he is very physically imposing. And he is, and his fighting style, you're going to get hit a lot with him. I don't think that he was going to win that Tim Tszyu fight. I really don't think he was going to win that Tim Tszyu fight if Tim Tszyu hadn't got cut. Matter of fact, I think Tim Tszyu was probably on his way to stopping Sebastian Fundora. So for me, there is most definitely like some hope there that Errol can kind of get into the same groove, that Tim Tszyu got into, which is, punching up on Sebastian Fundora and landing those shots. And Sebastian Fundora's chin, he's definitely got chin checked. He got chin checked by Erickson Lubin, and Erickson Lubin is about the same height and size as Errol Spence Jr. is, and he's also a southpaw like Errol Spence is. Then you had Brian Mendoza, also landed a very, very nice left hand. Let me make sure something real quick. I think Brian Mendoza. Let me check to see if I'm right about Brian Mendoza. No, Brian Mendoza is an orthodox fighter, 5'10", so but around the same height, not too much off from Errol Spence. Was able to land one and knock out Sebastian Fundora. So maybe Errol Spence Jr. can pull that off, but it's just such an awkward situation. So again, this is what Greg Hackett from YSM Sports Media and out of the gyms in Philadelphia. Greg Hackett has his own YouTube channel as well, so I guess I should say that as well. I just almost always see him in the interviews on YSM Sports Media. Said that he was worried about the fight. Now Bernie the Boxer joins in with it. However, I don't want to totally discount Errol, and I'm favoring Errol Spence. I am probably going to favor Errol Spence Jr. to win. Before I want to make a prediction, I just want to see Errol in training camp. I want to hear him because I did hear him speak recently, and he did sound a lot more clear and a lot more crisp than he did in the lead up into the Terence Crawford fight. And then there is, of course, that option that maybe it really was the things that Errol said, like the cataracts in his eyes where he really couldn't see punches coming. And, the prolonged amount of time that he had off and the weight that he had and the ribs. And, there are scenarios in life where you just have a lot of stuff go wrong. But look, man, after what happened to Deontay Wilder with Zhang, I really wish Deontay Wilder had taken, some easy fights like he did after Tyson Fury. He got one with Robert Helenius. I would have liked if he had another fight, maybe with Jermaine Taylor, but maybe with Deontay Wilder, he felt like, hey man, I'm not all the way together. I'm not, so just give me the big money fights. I'm going to take the big money fights and get out of there, get a couple big paychecks and then kick rocks with those versus getting in there and feeling unmotivated for a fight for a lot less money. But whatever the case is, the connection between Errol and Deontay at this point in time kind of worries me. And again, I would rather have seen Errol fight Ryan Garcia. But hey, man, at least it's not Jaron Ennis. And if he can get by Sebastian Fundora, hey, man, that dude is back. Especially like he may come back looking like, Cotto after Cotto had lost to Margarito. People thought he was done. Now, I doubt very much that, it's the same, that Errol lost for the same reason that Cotto lost to Margarito. But hey, man, you can have resurgencies. I thought Cotto was done a couple times in his career, and he had resurgences. So anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.